It is remarkable to us that the government of Guatemala has withdrawn its ambassador to Belize. He has not yet returned to his post, which is a diplomatic insult to Belize. In those circumstances, we reject any attempt to move this process forward. When full ambassadorial relations, and I mean a presence in Belize, is established, then we can begin talking about moving forward with this process. 10th of November, Guatemalan Armed Forces detained, stopped Satim from going up our side of the Sarstone River. That is unacceptable, Madam President, and there has been no reasoned or rational explanation from the government of Guatemala or the government of Belize as to how that matter has been resolved. It is remarkable that the Foreign Minister of Belize can tell us that his colleague is not taking his calls. They can't arrange a meeting. To quote the Foreign Minister, that he has tried to engage a Foreign Minister, but he is not disposed to sit with us yet, and neither is he disposed to cause his technical people to sit with our technical people to work. And so we haven't made any headway on that front, speaking about the Sarstone Protocol. If that is the way the government of Guatemala behaves, if that is the way the Foreign Minister of Guatemala behaves, then why is it that we are moving forward at this particular time? We say that now is not the appropriate time for us to be dealing with this issue. It was on the 17th of October of this year, 6 Belizeans detained by Guatemalan military forces, and they were told by the Guatemalans that Belize only have 3 miles in the southern waters. All the rest is for Guatemala. We still have no explanation as to how that matter has been resolved.
They have been saying to us that the people of Belize will be the ones to decide on whether we go to the ICJ. But I believe that is really a farce. I believe this matter of the ICJ has been decided for us. Let me explain why. Mr. President, in Article 1 of the Protocol to the Special Agreement between Belize and Guatemala, the two parties have committed to ensure that through active public information efforts, our citizenry will be, quote, formally informed of the differences between the two parties in respect of the Guatemala's territorial, insular, and maritime claim, and of the need to resolve them finally and definitively in the International Court of Justice, end quote. The first part, to actively inform the people of our differences, is quite all right. But the last part, which calls for us to fully inform them of the, quote, need to resolve the differences finally and definitively in the International Court of Justice, unquote, is most troubling, Mr. President. So, President, our government has committed to their international friends to convince us that the ICJ is the way to go. In that case, we can forget about a balanced information campaign.